The Denver Nuggets take game two with a 108-103 over the Los Angeles Lakers, taking a dominant 2-0 series lead, heading back to LA. Zach, obviously, you're the Lakers fan here. How are you feeling about this game, and how are you feeling going forward in this 7-game series?
Quite frankly, I don't know what to think right now. I don't know how to feel. This feels like the ultimate gut punch. For a large majority of this game, it looked to me like the Lakers had this one. Ultimately, I think the Lakers committed the number one sin that you cannot commit when you're playing a team that is overall probably better than you, and you're on the road, and you have to slam the door shut when you get your chances to do so. And ultimately, the Lakers didn't capitalize. They did not do that. And when you have guys like Jamal Murray, who through three quarters were struggling heavily, at some point, these great players are going to find a way. They are going to get out of that slump. And that's what Jamal Murray did. He almost outscored the Lakers himself in the fourth quarter. Now, look, I tip my cap to Denver. I was going to come on here originally and complain about the refs and complain about all these things, but that's not why we lost today. I'm not going to be one of those fans that blames the refs and says, you know what, if the refs didn't make that bad call or they didn't make that bad call, the Lakers would have won this game and we'd be talking about a 1-1 series, because ultimately we lost because our best two players didn't show up today. And look, I think LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. He still is after this terrible performance, but that's exactly what it was. This was a disgraceful performance. This was a horror show from not only LeBron, but also AD. LeBron, through 2 games in this Western Conference Finals, is 0 for 10 from 3, 0 from 6 from 3 tonight. It's inexcusable. At this point, the Nuggets are going to just let LeBron shoot threes. If he's going to take threes, they're going to back off and they're going to say, you know what, we'll take that. And that's how it's been for a large portion of LeBron's career. But 0 for 10? It's inexcusable. You cannot win a series playing like that. 40 points combined tonight from LeBron and AD. You are not going to beat a team that is probably better than you away from home playing like that. It's inexcusable. And then beyond that, it wasn't just LeBron and AD. For me, the only two players from the Lakers that deserve praise tonight is Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura came to play and Austin Reeves played pretty damn well. But beyond that, this Lakers team, they just didn't show up. I didn't expect it. I really am disappointed. Now, I'm still going to back this team, but it feels very difficult to do so after that game. This feels like the ultimate gut punch, to where Denver, now they're thinking, you know what, we can go to LA and wrap this up in 4. The confidence is extremely low for this group. You could see it. Did you see that the Lakers team walked down the tunnel? They looked distraught. This was the game they had to win. Denver, through 3 quarters, struggled heavily. But the thing is, the Lakers, they did not slam the door shut. They let them creep back into the game. And ultimately, here we are. And it's 2-0 going back to LA. And it's not terrible. I mean, Denver defended home court. They did what they had to do. Now the Lakers are going to have to do the same. They're going to have to come back to Denver 2-2. If they go down 3-1, it's over. I know LeBron has come back from 3-1 before, but this is not the same LeBron. This is not the 2016 Cavs team. This is a totally different scenario. It's not happening. The Los Angeles Lakers have to win both games in LA for them to win this series. If it's 3-1, it's over. And if anyone is going to do it, I still have my faith in LeBron James. But it feels like this is the ultimate gut punch. And now, I really don't know what to think.
I agree with a lot of things you said. The Lakers blew a golden opportunity to steal a game at Denver. They were up double digits. And look, you look at everybody besides Anthony Davis and LeBron, they got it. You got Hachimura looking like the Japanese Michael Jordan. I mean, you get Austin Reeves, who's been so good in this playoff run. You get your role players to show up, but
D'Lo didn't show up tonight.
D'Lo didn't show up tonight, but he hasn't really, found his feet. But LeBron James and Anthony Davis come up short. When your role players play this well, you cannot blow these games, especially when it's Denver. How good Denver is at home, you have to take these games. Like you said, you have to slam the door shut. And Denver were not playing good at all. They're playing atrocious. Jamal Murray looked horrible, but he somehow turned it on in the fourth quarter and he just couldn't miss. I mean, this guy was lights out, and that's something that these players like. Look, when AD starts the game and he starts playing poor, he's going to be poor throughout the entire game. He doesn't have that switch in him to just, the fourth quarter comes around, he just turns it on like we've seen guys from like Jason Tatum or Jamal Murray. He's not like that. He doesn't have that in his head. And I think the blame falls on 50% of LeBron and AD. I think a lot of it, maybe a little bit more on LeBron. LeBron did not play good enough. And he made a couple mistakes where it's like, LeBron, what are you doing? I mean, blowing up. Look, he did a great job. The hustle back. This is already late in the game, but maybe it was too far gone. But basically, misses a point blank layup. That's a momentum shifter. I mean, you just steal the ball off that end of the game. I mean, it's still a close game. That's a winnable game right there, and he just blows it. And I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, the Lakers, we came out, they made proper good adjustments like we expected they would. But like I said, I thought Denver would be able to match that. And they were able to squeeze what the best they could out of Jamal Murray. And you saw what happened. Jamal gets 37 points. I mean, it's absolutely spectacular. And look, I had Denver winning both of these home games, and they're going to go back to LA. But I'm feeling a little bit better, especially after this one, because it was a bit of a flip because we saw Denver take that lead and then almost give it away. And then the Lakers come out game 2, take that lead, and then Denver take it back and says, no, we're winning this game. So I'm feeling pretty good. I think Denver can steal a game in LA. As good as the Lakers have been in the crypto, I'm so not used to calling it the crypto arena, in LA, back home, I think Denver can steal a game because they saw they can win in multitude of ways, in a lot of different ways. They can win trailing the game and they can win leading the game. And that speaks volumes. And I think the Lakers definitely, like you said, were leaving the court with the heads down because they knew they let one go away.
This was their chance. LeBron knows you cannot let these types of games slip up in the playoffs. He's been here too many times. He knows this was the game they had to win. If you're going to steal a game in Denver, this was the one that it had to be. Because you cannot guarantee Denver is going to shoot like that again. We saw how good they shot in game 1. They shot lights out. And then, obviously, through pretty much 3 quarters, they, were shooting. It was Brick City. It was Mile High Brick City. But ultimately, in the 4th quarter, Jamal Murray showed up. The rest of the team showed up. Michael Porter Jr. had a good game. Oh, I mean, look, I'm not trying to be reactionary here. But I think, look, I don't know if it's that lingering foot injury that LeBron has. Obviously, LeBron picked up a little bit of a knock in this game, falling on AD's foot. But maybe now is the first time where everyone is finally seeing, is Father Time finally catching up to LeBron James? Because, look, maybe for a lot of players, this was not that bad. But for his standards, it seems like he's finally starting to drop off a little bit. I think we've seen it in this series. He has not been efficient at all. I mean, from the 3-point line, god awful, 0 for 10. I mean, he never needs to shoot another 3. I mean, I think Denver is very okay with him shooting 3s. I mean, until he can prove that he can finally make one, then maybe you play a little bit, tighter up on him and, have to actually guard him. But for now, why would you guard him from the 3-point line? But I just sit here and I say, is Father Time finally catching up to LeBron James? Obviously, this is 2 games. I don't want to be that reactionary, but I come away from this game and I seen, missing that dunk, obviously, where it slips out of his hands. He blew multiple layups. That one at the end where he steals the ball. It's like, this is the opportunity, like.
That's a momentum shifter. At this point, that's flipping everything up.
Well, yeah, but at this point, they had already kind of let it slip. But it's like, can they come back? Can they show that resilience where it's like, look, it's one of the things, if you're a Lakers fan, the Lakers consistently, they'll have a lot of fake comebacks. And I'm like, is this one not going to be a fake comeback? Is this going to be an actual comeback? And then LeBron misses that layup and it's over. That was the moment where I say, I don't know about LeBron, man. I really don't know. And obviously, I love LeBron. He's still the greatest player of all time. This series, this performance does not change anything. But this is inexcusable. It's impossible to defend this. And obviously, so many people love LeBron. But I do not want to see anybody trying to rationalize or defend this performance. I don't care how much you love LeBron. You have to give him the criticism he deserves for this performance, for these performances so far. I mean, just because he's LeBron doesn't mean he is immune to criticism. I mean, obviously, he's going to get the criticism I think he deserves. And also AD, once again, he was always disappointing tonight. That's he lived up to his nickname, always disappointing tonight. Mr. Inconsistent. 40 points in game 1, and then, 18 points, but
18.
Very inefficient. Plus minus was -10. You can't win like that. You cannot beat a team that is probably better than you playing like that. It's inexcusable. It can't happen. But I tip my cap to Denver. I come away from this thinking Maybe this is just their year. Maybe they are just a better team. And, it seems to be that this might just be their year because I don't know if whoever comes out of the East can beat this Denver team, if they are the ones that end up making it. This Denver team, they can beat you in a multitude of different ways. If they shoot bad, they have, good enough defense. Jamal Murray can, flip a switch at any point. We all know how good Jokic is, the best player in the world right now. But they're role players. Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, these guys consistently show up. They are you never really see a game where these guys are inconsistent. They always show up. They give you what you expect them to give you. And that's a huge takeaway that I get. And, this Denver team is well coached, very good role players. I have a lot of respect for this Denver team. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that the Lakers lost because of the refs or anything like that. The Lakers shot themselves in the foot, and ultimately Denver, they probably deserve to win this game.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And I mean, this Denver team has been disrespected all season long.
Yeah. Yep.
No one took them seriously. Even when they released the odds, the Lakers were favorited over the Denver Nuggets. The one seed.
Were they? I think Denver was slightly favored.
I
know the point stands though.
I saw a lot of people picking the Lakers. Look, maybe it's not the odds, but I saw a lot of people openly picking the Lakers. It was hard to find people who were picking the Nuggets.
Yeah,
and I think maybe that's a multitude of Lakers just have a much bigger fan base, but I think people just have to start taking the Nuggets seriously. I mean, these guys are legit.
Yeah.
I think they have a very good chance of winning it all. I mean, whoever comes out of the Heat Celtics, they're going to have their handful. I mean, whatever team on that side of the bracket has to think, oh my God, even if we somehow get through each other, we might have to play the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
And Jamal Murray, a guy that can just torch you at any point.
Yep.
And obviously,
but at Curry tonight in the fourth quarter.
He looked like Steph. And then Nikola Jokic, one of the most dominant big men we have ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very deep because even Contavious Caldwell-Pope was playing out of his mind in game one. In game two,
he got into foul trouble today.
Yeah, he got into foul trouble, kind of came back down to earth, but then Bruce Brown gives you that little push. And even you look at Denver's bench, they didn't get a crazy amount of points from multiple players. It was all Bruce Brown. 12 points, literally only 14 points coming off the bench. 12 of them was Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
So, and he was hitting big clutch shots. His points came into the point where they needed them, or it was points that gained them that lead back and when that creeped back. So I give Denver a lot of credit. I picked them to win this series because I always kind of just never bought into the Lakers as, a true contender to win it all. But obviously we'll have to see. This is still, I think they have a good chance of maybe winning both games in LA, but I'm siding with the odds that Denver's going to sneak one.
Look, what I'll say is this. Maybe this is my blind faith. Maybe this is my optimism talking. But if anyone is going to come back from 2-0 against the Denver Nuggets, it's going to be this Lakers team. We have been disrespected and doubted from the very beginning. We started off 2-10. Nobody expected us to be here. They said Grizzlies in 5. We smoked the Grizzlies. They said, oh, well, the defending champion Warriors will take care of you. Beat the Warriors. If anyone is going to do this, it's this Lakers team. They have shown the resiliency. They have shown the ability to come back from adversity. If anyone is going to do this, it's going to be them. Obviously, I'm very disappointed. I'm very sad after this result. Obviously, who isn't? But I am still going to trust this Lakers team. I'm going to put my faith in LeBron James and Anthony Davis, even though they just put up those 2 terrible performances. This is my blind faith and optimism talking 100%. But I still think they can do it. Am I going to go run to Vegas and put my house money on it? No, because, this Denver team is very, very good. And, they've shown that they can beat us in multiple different ways. And also, LeBron, quite frankly, has not shown up through 2 games. And Anthony Davis has been Mr. Inconsistent. So, all I got to say is, if anyone is going to 100% count us out, I think you're doing us a disservice. I think you're wrong. But, if you're going to pick the Nuggets, I respect that, obviously. But I just think some people are going to be like, oh, well, Nuggets got this in 4 or Nuggets in 5. I think that's a disrespect to this Lakers team, what they've accomplished so far this season. If anyone's going to do this, it's them. I think they can go back to the drawing board. Look, if I don't see a way that LeBron is going to play this bad again. This guy, he's done it for too long, been consistent for too long to put up 3 bad performances in a row. He's going to figure it out. He's going to be motivated as ever. And, I think the Lakers take game 3, and then it comes down to, can the Lakers win game 4? and even the series at 2, because I think if they go back to Denver 3-1 down, that's a very, very, very tall mountain to climb. You could
I
almost
think
call it a
if any,
mile-high
yeah,
mountain to climb.
I think if
I
they go
think it's
back to
almost
Denver
impossible at
3-1,
that
it's
point.
over.
It's not impossible, but it's looking very, very unlikely if you're going to win 3 in a row against this Denver team. And that would also mean you have to win 2 games in Denver. Obviously people would have said the same thing about the 2016 Warriors, but this is 2023. This isn't 2016 LeBron anymore.
That's a long
So,
time ago.
this was the one that the Lakers had to win. And I know everyone is saying that, this is the one they had to win. Denver didn't play well.
This is the one you guaranteed me they'd win.
They had to win. They needed to win this. I said, because I always said, I don't know if the Lakers will win both games in LA. This Denver team is very good. You needed to split this series in Denver. You needed to go back to LA 1-1, because even if you lose the game in LA, I don't think they're going to lose both. Then you can come back to Denver game 5 and you're 2-2. Then it's a best of 3 series. All you have to do is win 1 game in Denver, and then you can win the series. Because I think that they would win a game 6 in LA. But now, it's a tall mountain to climb. But like I said, if anyone is going to do it, it's this Lakers team. And I still believe they can do it, but it's hard to not feel extremely disappointed and let down by some of the players on this team, after this performance. I think D'Lo needs to take a hard, long look at himself in the mirror, and he needs to go back to the drawing board and figure it out, because quite frankly, like I said, through 2 games, he hasn't showed up. And
I mean, some pundits were saying this is going to be the D'Angelo Russell series, but like, my God.
No.
I mean, what was it? 1 for 5 today from 3. That's not going to get anything done. I mean, it's more of a, D'Angelo brick fucking series, man. Jesus.
Yeah. It's incredibly disappointing, but it's not about D'Lo. It's not about Schroeder. It's not about this Lakers role players, because ultimately we were in a position where we should have won this game. We only lost by 5, and the role players did what they did. LeBron and AD, you are the guys that have to be consistent. You cannot underperform, and they did tonight. You cannot beat a team that's probably better than you away from home with your best 2 players underperforming. And that's what LeBron and AD did tonight. It's extremely disappointing, because even if if LeBron makes those layups that he missed, and he, instead of tries to do some kind of crazy like this dunk, for the cameras, and he just, simple dunk, we're talking about a Lakers win. So
talking about a different game.
It's extremely disappointing. And I think the Lakers win game 3, and it's going to come down to game 4, what happens in game 4. But obviously, if the Nuggets win game 3, they're up 3-0. The series is wraps. It's all over. So this is, obviously, I don't need to say that this next game is a must win for the Lakers. I think everyone knows that. It's self-explanatory. So obviously, we're going to have to go ahead and see, what happens in a couple of days.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I think the Lakers have to take that game as an elimination game, because that's
that is an elimination game.
Yeah, it's how it has to be taken, because no one's
this
ever.
This is backs against the wall.
Yeah.
This is, you have to win this game. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if LeBron has to play all 48 minutes, if AD has to play all 48 minutes. This is what you have to view that game as. You know what I mean? This is an elimination game. You have to put backs to the wall, and we need our best 2 players to show up. If LeBron and AD show up and we still lose, I tip my cap to the Denver team. This is a very good team. But when your best 2 players don't show up and you lose a 5-point game, that's disappointing. And that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Any other final comments or you have to make about this game?
No, I think that's it. That's it from me.
Well, I think I can go ahead and cry myself to sleep tonight, feeling very disappointed, I think, as many other Laker fans are. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this game. Do you think the Lakers still have a chance in this series? Do you think that they can win both games in LA? I think they can, but I don't know if they will. So you're going to have to let us know in the comments down below. Yeah.
The Taiwan. Let's go.
Anyway, I'm Zach.
I'm G.
And we'll see y'all next time for another video. Peace.
Peace.